What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Emmanuel. This is Sabalang Outdoors, and in today's video I'm going to be answering a lot of you guys' questions. You guys are always asking me questions about sea-doo fishing, so today's video will be dedicated to that. And if you ask me a question on my Instagram story, I will be answering some of those as well, and anything else that comes to mind. So let's get right into it. So when it comes to checking weather, it's actually pretty easy. I use an app called Windfinder. So you could hop on here, you could key it into your location. Once you get it keyed into your location, it's going to show you the time, it's going to show you how fast the wind is moving, it's going to show you what the weather is going to be like, the air temperature, how high the waves are going to be, the period the waves are going to last, as well as the tides. You can also use NOAA's marine forecast, and if you're in the United States, you can ping this into your area, and it's actually going to give you a description of what the weather is going to be like for that day. And that's all I use. That's all you need. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to weather forecasts is that a lot of times they're wrong. Unfortunately, it just happens. They can't predict everything. So if you ever end up in a sticky situation, you are definitely going to want to have your VHF radio. I actually carry 2 of these on my ski just in case anything happens. I can get in contact with Coast Guard, I can get in contact with the nearby police, I can get in contact with FWC, Towboat USA. Anyone that's able to come help me, I can get in contact with them through this when I'm offshore. My phone doesn't have service. This is what's gonna help me right here. So the next must-have is this thing right here. Tiny but very important. It's called a personal locator beacon. If you're offshore, you end up in a sticky situation and you need emergency help, simply gonna pop this open just like that. You're gonna hit this red button here and it's gonna ping your location to all the emergency services nearby so you can get some help. No fish, no journey, nothing is worth your life out there. So make the investment, get one of these, and make sure when you're out there on the water, you're protected. Now moving on to some of the gear that I use personally. Starting off, it's gonna be my Explorer PFD made by Sea-Doo. It has this nice light color on the back. You're on a small Sea-Doo offshore, a lot of times people do not see you. So it's very important to pay attention to your surroundings as well as wear things that help a little bit make you more visible out there. This has the GoPro right here, so you can clip on your GoPro. Has a bunch of pouches. Sometimes I put my radios in here, my EPIRB. You can clip in a bunch of stuff and put a bunch of stuff here. So this is definitely a great vest. This is what I use every time I go out there. As you guys can see, it's pretty weathered. So anyone that rides a Sea-Doo knows that a part of it is getting wet. Personally, I do not like getting wet. I like being warm and dry. So I wear these bibs when I'm offshore. They're made by Salt Life, and these are gonna go over me just like that, protecting my whole body, keeping the water from splashing me and wetting my clothes, as well as a waterproof Salt Life jacket. So this goes over the bibs. It's gonna stop the water from getting on me, making me all wet, being all soggy out there. It's something I don't enjoy, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. Another popular question is what rod and reels I use when I'm offshore. So that's gonna depend on the type of fishing. So I'm gonna talk a bit about the different types of fishing and what setups I use. Starting off, for trolling. Anytime I'm offshore and I'm either planer trolling, which is pulling baits down in the water column with the device called a planer, or pulling baits on the surface, I'm going to be using my Pen 50. This is an all-around great reel. It's a big game reel. It can handle a lot. It holds a lot of line, and I just love it. I got this paired with a custom Pen Ally rod. It's a 2-piece, so the butt disconnects, and this rod has not failed me. This reel has not failed me. Great setup, and I love it. So here we have our deep dropping setup. This is a Daiwa Dendo bent butt rod paired with a Kagan Banix 1000. I've caught plenty of fish on this reel. I've never had a problem with it, and this one specifically holds 1,000 yards of line. So a lot of you guys ask how I power my electric reel when I'm out there. This is how. This is a Sea-Doo Link utility box. At the back of every Fish Pro, the same way the cooler is linked in is the same way you can link in one of these. So the cooler can actually be pushed back a bit, linked onto the back, and then this can link between the seat and the cooler, and it pops open just like this. And as you guys can see, I have a small rechargeable battery in here. Fits in there just fine. Voila. A lot of you guys also ask about the rod holder I use. I will add the link down in the description. It's just a clamp-on rod holder that clamps onto my seat here, and the rod pops in just like that. So next we have our live bait setup. This is Shimano Twin Power 8000 paired with a Shimano Terramar rod. And honestly, I'm not gonna give you guys a breakdown on why I love this rod. I've used this rod plenty of times, caught plenty of fish on it. It's what I like, and that's what I use. Last but not least, we have our slow pitch setup. This is a Shimano Speedmaster size 12 paired with a Goofish spiral wrapped rod. This is a great combo. I cannot stress that enough. Anything from kingfish all the way up to queen snapper, this combo is caught. Great, I love it. I use it every time I go on the water. I would definitely recommend it. So people ask me a lot, when you're offshore and you catch that big fish, where do you put it? This is the answer right here. An insulated fish bag. This one right here is about 44 inches, made by this company named Opa. I've used a couple fish bags now and I found that this one is the best. It's super insulated. It has a bunch of pockets here. The actual straps are literal like seatbelt material, so I love this thing. I put it in between my cooler and my seat when I'm out there live baiting. You're catching kingfish, you're catching wahoo, you catch a big dolphin, you want to put it in here. This is gonna be your best bet. And if you catch that fish that's just too big, it's time to go home. That's a good reason to go home, so this is your answer. Insulated fish bag. I almost forgot. A gaff. You want a gaff when you're offshore, you're chasing pelagics. A lot of these fish have sharp teeth. You do not want to try to grab them by the mouth. I personally don't use a net. I'm taking these fish home to eat, so I use a gaff. I would recommend getting a gaff with better grip than mine. Everyone complains that mine's slippery, but it is what it is. My gaff ain't going nowhere. Alrighty guys, so next we have our Sea-Doo Link multi-cargo rack. And this actually mounts in between your seat and your cooler, and it's just gonna give you more link attachments. So if you wanted to add 3 gas tanks this way, or if you wanted to add 3 utility boxes this way, simply slide it in just like that. You're gonna wanna make sure this part's open, and it locks in just like that. So you can add 3 of these this way. If you wanna run to the Bahamas, you wanna add 3 gas caddies on there. This is literally perfect for that. And it has your original link attachments, so you can pop this off. And if you want to put it here, just like how it's regularly mounted, locks in just like that. This is an awesome product and I use it nearly every time I'm on the water. Alrighty, so I would say that just about covers the general information about Sea-Doo fishing. If there's anything you'd like me to go in depth about, anything specific, leave that down in the comments. But for now, we're gonna answer some questions off of Instagram. First question, how young were you when you started fishing? I could not put a number on it, but I was pretty young. I used to fish bridges and piers, and the first time I ever went offshore was on a Sea-Doo Spark. What's the farthest offshore you have gone on a Fish Pro? I rode the Fish Pro Trophy 112 miles from Florida to the Abaco Islands in the Bahamas. What is your favorite type of fishing? Anything offshore. I love jigging, I love blue water stuff, trolling, anything offshore, that's what I love. Where are you primarily fishing with the ski? Off Florida coast or what? Yes, I fish off of Florida's East Coast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, the Keys, Palm Beach, Jupiter. On Florida's East Coast, that's where I fish. How are you liking the trophy versus the sport? The main difference in the trophy and the sport is that the trophy, you can turn your cooler into a live well. I use that a lot now, so I love it. When you are trolling, how heavy are your jigs and how much line do you let run behind? So I don't know the actual weight of these jigs, honestly. I pull this right here to blue and white sea witch down on the planer. That's what I pull mostly. It's gonna pull it down on the planer. The planer is gonna dive your bait down into the water column. I do know that the leader I have on here is around 100 feet, but it's gonna depend on what type of fish you're targeting. I know with tuna, you're gonna wanna let your baits way back on the top, but it really depends. Anywhere from, I say, 50 to 100 feet. Have you ever had a shark come up on you while fishing on a Sea-Doo? Yes, we live in Florida, we have a shark problem. Sharks are just a part of fishing here. I'll run in a clip right here of a hammerhead coming up to the ski. Oh.
You came up so hot on that.
Oh no.
Oh no no
No, 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 no. Look at him. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
What a beast.
Look at this.
He's fired up right now.
Where is the best place to buy a Fish Pro trophy? You're gonna wanna go on Sea-Doo.com, use your dealer locator, and then you're gonna be able to see dealers in your area. You're gonna wanna get in contact with those dealers and ask about their inventory. I'm not on that side of things, so I couldn't really tell you exactly where to go. What number planer did you use to catch the wahoo? I've caught them on planer number 6 and planer numbers 8. It varies. It depends on where they are that day. It's always gonna change. You could catch them on a number 4, you could catch them on number 6, number 8. It's gonna change. You just gotta keep playing around with it until you catch one. What's your favorite fish to catch? Wahoo. I love wahoo. There's not a better fish out there than a wahoo. Where is your ultimate dream travel location? Western Australia. Alrighty guys, I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. If there's anything you want to know about in depth, leave it in the comment section. I'll try my best to get around to it. If you stayed with me and watched this whole video, thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.